Debates on the rights and wrongs of their activities are not encouraged.
I don't go out seeking confrontation or anything of that type. I think for military men it's unproductive. We should not be in the business, I don't think, of answering critics. Our civilian representatives do that, our government and your government, because we work for them. We do whatever our national policies ask, and I think our best approach is just to continue to do our job and let the two civilian governments handle that part of it. So that's not what we're good at.
Come on, my birdies, come on.
The doves belong to a member of Fairford's peace group, author Susie Verica, who lives in a house on the edge of a nature reserve. In the beginning there were 6, now there are 30.
Come on. The first time they came out was when I took some up to the base, but they came home. It was absolutely wonderful. And then gradually they've increased and multiplied, sometimes not always in quite the right direction.
Touch of grey there.
Touch of grey. Well, it's these racing pigeons. Although I think that one there, I don't think he's even ringed. Well, what do? You want white doves, and you have visitors. It's a bit of a problem.
How do you advise your boys to cope with the anti-American faction?
I really don't get in the business of giving advice because it is relatively small. Well, it is small, and it doesn't have that big an impact at our base, not like you see the publicity at some of the other bases, because it's very much a local opposition, and it takes the form of fairly disciplined and structured opposition. In other words, the people have a certain point of view. They periodically take an opportunity to express that, but I appreciate that. We have different points of view among ourselves. They don't destroy things. They don't try to hurt people. They don't try to disrupt things. They express their views, and that's something that's very American as it is very British. And I think most of my people understand that. I don't want to say we ignore them, but in essence we do.
You're going to use them in other demonstrations?
Oh, yes. But I have to say straight away that if it were a British military establishment there, I would probably feel equally worried, because it's when you live with the day-to-day presence, probably of the parish of Fairford. I live closer than most other people, certainly on this side of the town, and I see those lorries going up and down every day, either coming out loaded with earth or going in loaded with, well, heaven knows what. I see the accidents on the road. I hear the alarms ringing on the base. You become very, very aware of it. You see the aircraft taking off. You hear them on the Libyan crisis affair. My whole house shook. I've heard them taking off before, but rarely absolutely loaded to the gills with fuel. And that was an astonishing noise. And so you become very sensitive.
You can't take it in.
Oh, can't I?
No.
Oh, I see.
But I'll mark it down for you.
Yes, please.
50p if you put it back again.
Yes, I will. Hello there. Too late, everything's gone.
Yes, 2 fudges, 25, and the meringues, please.
I know a lot of people think I make a nuisance of myself for the sake of having a row or this or that. It's not true. I genuinely believe we've got to do something about it. If there's a war, Fairford is a bullseye. The whole of Gloucestershire is, in fact.
Do you think the people of Fairford think about it?
I don't know if they think about it. Certainly they are different to a lot of the people that I know in other places, in that during the time of the reactivation of the base, out of 52 different parishes, Fairford was the only one to vote in favour of the reactivation, the only one who knew how nice the Americans were when they were here before, perhaps, and possibly they felt that they would be doing business with them. So I think Fairford, oddly enough, is different. But then, strangely, Fairford has always been a little bit different to anywhere else I lived. I can remember when I was a young girl thinking that Fairford had a quality that was different to anywhere else. It's unique. Special, but doesn't always agree with me.
And what was that quality?
slightly isolated, oddly enough, I feel. Now, how that should come about, I can't imagine, because geographically it fits in like any other town. But there has always been a sense of, for me, of it being a rather an isolated place, rather insular, perhaps.
There have been bakers on this site for 4 generations, and for nigh on 50 years, the Radway brothers, Sid and Bill, have been getting up at the crack of dawn to turn out 400 loaves a day. Do the Americans come here for your bread, Bill?
They come here, but not a great lot. You get the occasional one, but I believe they've got nearly everything up on the base. It's a shop of every description, they tell me. They sell everything up there. So, of course, I mean, that definitely does.
What do you think about the Yanks? Are you glad they're here?
Well, to be quite truthful, they don't interfere with us. I mean, we really don't know much about them, to be quite truthful. At one time, when they first come here, before they had their facilities and that up at the Drome, we used to get some then. But since they've been, as I say, with everything up there, we don't.
Do you ever worry about what's going on up there?
No. No, because as I say, we're here, and regards to flying, I think it mostly goes out the other way.
You got a gun there?
Yeah. 38 Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson 38, however you want to say it.
You know how to use it?
Yeah.
Ever had to?
No, unfortunately, no. Don't hope I ever have to either. It can make a pretty good mess of people. It can make a pretty good mess of people. Yeah.
I've got to pass.